This time we look at a model of a machine from the foundation engineering sector. The model is made by NZG and the machine is made by Klemm, and Klemm is part of the Bauer Group. The machine is the KR806 3GS drilling rig, and its main uses are to install ground anchors. And ground anchors are usually used to provide support for retaining walls and basements, and so it does technically complex work. The model comes in a Klemm branded box, and inside are the usual pair of expanded polystyrene trays which are taped together. So after a quick bit of knife work we can separate the trays, and there's the model wrapped in soft paper. This is an intricate small model, so we need to lift it out carefully. And also in the box are some other things, and that includes a screwdriver, and there's also a bag which contains some spare track links. There is some packaging to remove from the model before we can start our close look at it, and that includes an elastic band which holds it together during shipping, and the crawler tracks are also wrapped up with some cling film. This is a bit fiddly to remove and not so easy to put back on if you ever want to put the model back in the box. A nice touch with the model is that it includes some information about the real machine both in German and in English, and there's also some description of the model as well. It always seems a more professional touch when you have a direct link to the real machine. There is no assembly to do on the model because it is completely out of the boxly. Starting underneath, the main base plate is simple, but the crawler tracks are nice with their detailed metal pads, and you can see some of the intricate mechanisms that control the drilling mast. The track frames don't have working rollers, but the detailing is really nice, and that includes sharp graphics and paint highlighting. Another area of high detail is the control console, and tiny control levers have been modelled. The main body of the machine has got nice paint and sharp graphics. There's a red box mounted at the rear, and small safety graphics add to the detail. Moving to the other side of the drill rig, there's an intricately modelled high pressure hose, and that includes the hose reel and wand. The mechanics that control the drilling mast are complex, and there are many hydraulic rams and some hydraulic hoses also. At the top of the drilling mast there's a flexible power rack, and hoses run to the drilling motor. Various elements of the drilling motor are modelled in metal. There are tiny hydraulic rams controlling the drilling mast and pipe clamp, and the drilling rod has a highlighted tip. We will start by looking at the track frames, and there's a degree of oscillation on each of them, so that can compensate for any ground level differences. The crawler tracks can be turned by hand, but they are extremely stiff, so it's not sensible to try and roll them even on a rough surface. With the model the right way up, we can see the oscillation that's possible between the body and the crawler track frames. And as we unpack from the transport mode, we can move out the control console. It works well with two hinge points, and it also moves up and down a little. Now we'll move on to raise the drilling mast. And although the model is quite robust, we need to be a little bit careful how we handle it. There are lots of moving parts and you don't want to force anything. The hydraulics and the articulation are all modelled very well, and that means the model is as flexible as the real machine in getting the drill mast to the position it needs to be. So as an example of that, here we're twisting the drill mast so that it can drill sideways to the machine. And in this case we could be setting up to drill a ground anchor at the bottom of a retaining wall. The machine can also be set up to drill vertically, and with careful adjustment the model is flexible enough to be able to do that as well. There is additional functionality on the drilling mast, and the drilling motor can travel up and down on its sledge. Another adjustment that's possible is on the casing clamp at the bottom of the drill mast. And there's also some adjustment of the whole drill mast. So as you can see, there's lots of possibilities for moving the model as you want. And if you want to lock the drilling mast or drill motor in position, you use the included screwdriver. Another way to display the model is as a transport load. In real life it weighs around 20 tons, so you don't need a big low loader. And even a medium-sized giant hand crane can lift it on board. It's good to see another model of a machine from the foundation engineering sector. They tend to be complex and this one is no exception. And NZG has made a really nice job of both the functionality and the detailing. So if you want an interesting and unusual model, this one is excellent.